Hello friends, today we are going to tell you about the movie SISU, which tells the story of a former soldier who discovers gold in the wilderness of Lapland and tries to bring the spoils back to the city. Nazi soldiers led by a brutal SS officer fight him. However, SISU is a term often associated with Finnish culture, representing determination, courage, and resilience. Let's see the main story. The film started with a voice in the background, where it was being told about the Second War of 1944, in which the bloody war between Russia and Nazi soldiers of Germany was broken out, because the relations between the two countries weren't good. After this, we are shown an old man whose name is Korpi. He is the main character, the hero of this story. Korpi is actually a traveler who does not have a single shelter. He works to find the gold buried in the ground. Even now, he has come to a place far away from his family. Along with Korpi, he has his pet dog and a horse, whom he loves a lot. These two were also travelers with him, and this is how his life was going on. One day while digging, he finds a very small piece of gold. Seeing what, he was happy. He started thinking that, if this piece of gold can be found in this area, then there must be a lot of gold around. So with this thought, the next day, he starts working harder than before. He digs different pits to find gold. At the same time, he was also afraid that someone might see me. It took him a lot of time while digging. But Korpi did not get the fruit of his hard work. That is, he did not even touch a small piece of gold, which made him sad. Then the next morning, when he dug a place, he found a lot of gold that he had not even guessed. Looking at this, he becomes quite happy. Tears start coming from the eyes in happiness. It was night again. Korpi took out all the gold there and came to his house. He decides that as soon as the morning comes, I will sell gold in the city and earn good money. Then as soon as it was morning, he took a bath and left for his journey. From there he had to face all the dangers and go to his destination. He took all the gold. He was sitting on a horse, taking his dog, and going toward the city. On the way, he sees a team of Nazi soldiers, because they were kidnapping two Russian girls, and taking them with them. As soon as Korpi passed in front of them, all the soldiers started laughing at him. Korpi's eyes went to the commander, who was looking at him very carefully. But ignoring him, he lets him go from there. Then the commander tells his man that he isn't the one to be saved. Very soon he will also be killed, because another team of our soldiers is coming while putting bombs into the ground, in which this old Korpi will be killed. When Korpi moved forward, he saw that a lot of people had been killed. They have been tied with poles in the middle. He was surprised to see this and also a little nervous, because the enmity and war between the two countries has increased so much that Nazi soldiers kill innocent people. And then the dead people are tied in such a way. Because of this, everyone's visit there was no less than any danger. Anyway, a little further from there, another soldier of that army stops Korpi and started looking for him, where he finds out that Korpi is also a smuggler, who was quietly smuggling gold from here, from which the soldier got angry. He tells Korpi to give all the gold and hand him over to them. Given this, Korpi tells his dog to run away from there. When the dog runs from there, the soldiers start shooting at him. Hearing the sound of bullets, the commander who is moving forward understands that, surely my soldier must have ended that old Korpi, from which he started smiling. But how did not he know that nothing like this happened? There the soldiers started troubling Korpi. He was making fun of him after teasing him and laughing at him. From which Corpy got angry. He took his knife and stabbed him in the head. Seeing what the condition of the soldiers worsened. But still, they attack him together. Then what happened? Corpy also fought with him alone. He breaks the leg of a soldier and the neck of the others. And shoots him once and kills him. And in this way he killed everyone. From this, we also understand that no matter how old he is very brave and powerful. That so many soldiers could not stand in front of him. Hearing the sound of bullets, he turns the commander's tank and tells him to take it back. And when he came to that place, he was very surprised to see the corpses of his soldiers. But when he got a piece of gold from the corpse of a soldier, then he was very scared, thinking that the man we just ignored was an old man. He is a smuggler of gold, who must have a lot of gold. So now the commander also starts chasing his tank in the greed of gold. Very soon he sees Corpy. He calls his companions and starts shooting bullets. From which to escape, Corpy runs his horse and comes out a little far. The commander also stopped shooting bullets. Because he was seeing Corpy. Where is he going? Because Corpy had come to the place where the explosives were buried in the ground. When the horse's leg was hit by a bomb, the horse was injured and fell far away. Due to this, Corpy was also injured a lot. Seeing his horse dying, he was very sad. He starts crying. But without wasting time, he starts collecting the pieces of gold again. Meanwhile, the commander also reaches here with all his soldiers. Before the commander attacks him by ordering his companions, Corpy throws a piece of gold on a bomb blast. Due to this, it exploded and smoke spread everywhere. Then all the soldiers immediately start firing the bullets blindly. And Corpy saves his life by moving his shield forward. Taking advantage of the smoke, he hid somewhere nearby. Now the commander sends some of his companions to catch him. But because the explosives were spread all over the ground there, because of this, a lot of soldiers die. The commander could not let his companions die like this. So he sends the rest of the Russian girls forward, so that they die and nothing happens to the soldiers. Meanwhile, the commander's closest companion tells him that the old man's life we are after is not an ordinary man. In fact, he is a very dangerous commando. He is so brave that he alone is enough in any war. And our seniors had the order that we should stay away from that old Corpy. After which we come to know the story of Corpy here. Actually, during the war, the Russian army had killed his entire family. As a result of this, he got furious. In a rage to take revenge, he killed about 300 soldiers, in which both the Russian army and the Nazi soldiers were included. On doing this, the army started looking for him. He was found, but even after a lot of effort, he did not die. He was left alone in the jungle. Later, seeing his strength, bravery, and courage, his name was kept Corpy, which means brave, not to be defeated or die. The commander's companion says that so many of our companions have died. So now we should go back, but he refused. In their greed for gold and to take revenge on Corpy, he asked to just go ahead. There, Corpy comes a long way and hides behind a burned car. He saw that there was a bullet in my leg, which he started pulling out with the help of his knife. Now it is obvious that he was having a very difficult time doing this, because it was hurting a lot. Also, being so injured, he also became weak. So for a while, his eyes opened. But after a while, the commander and all his soldiers come there. Hearing the sound, Korpi wakes up. And he quickly comes down from his truck and hides. But the dogs were coming sniffing him. So he leaks the petrol tank of the truck and drops the petrol on himself, so that the dogs can't sniff him. But then a soldier was informed that the petrol was leaking. Because of this, he stops the truck. Because of this, Korpi got scared. Afraid of being caught, he starts running away from there. But the commander's companion started shooting at him. Also, he sends his dogs behind him. To save from them, Korpi fires himself, because the whole body was filled with petrol. Fortunately, there was a pond nearby, which he immediately jumped into. Now, seeing his courage and bravery, all the soldiers are very surprised and worried about who is he. He doesn't die, and how can he be caught? But the commander's attempt to catch him does not end there. In fact, he sends some of his soldiers through the boat into the water. Then they jump into the water to catch Korpi. But there too, Korpi kills everyone one by one in the water. His strength was not only on the ground, but he was also very strong in the water. In this way, he also runs away from this pond. But his pet dog was left behind. Seeing this, the commander now prepares a new plan. Korpi left from there, came to a deserted place and stopped. There was an old broken petrol pump here. He went inside it and started resting, because he was very injured. But then he heard his dog's voice. As he comes to his dog, he sees that a bomb has been planted with his body. But as soon as Korpi put off the bomb and started throwing it, the bomb exploded. Because of this, he falls very far. Immediately he becomes faint. After a while, the commander and his companions came here. They drag Korpi and take him to a log. They tie him there by hanging him. After that, they left from there. Now what do you think? Is Korpi's game over? No, not at all. Because we know that he is a dangerous commando. So he can't be ended in this way. He knows very well how to deal with such kinds of dangers. Korpi puts his foot on the nail of a wooden pole. Due to this, the weight of his hanging has reduced. And for a while, he survives by dying. After a while, it was morning, and the rope got loose due to a plane passing from there. It came down and broke. Due to this, Korpi falls down. Both the pilots of the plane come to this petrol pump to fill petrol. As soon as they see Korpi, they send a pilot to kill him. Now Korpi, who was very smart, kills both pilots very cleverly, and makes one of them injured. After doing this, he bandages his wounds. Due to this, he does not use any bandages. Instead, he stitches his wounds with a metal wire. Seeing this, the injured pilot in front of him trembled, because he had never seen such a courageous man before. Now Korpi had to take his revenge from the commander. Along with that, he had to take the gold and reach the city. That's why he takes the pilot with him and moves forward, because he needed a pilot to fly the plane. When the commander and his soldiers were moving ahead, they came to a place and stopped, because they see the same plane destroyed in front of him. When they check, they see that someone has hanged the pilot and killed him. And this is the same rope with which they had hanged Korpi, which meant that Korpi was not dead but still alive. Thinking this, the commander was very shocked. Then he tells his companions to be alert and move forward. In the truck in which Russian girls were taken as prisoners. In that, a soldier was talking about Korpi. Hearing that, a girl Ano from them begins to laugh at their foolish talks. And from now on, we have to call Ano girl as I. Now Ano girl means I told those soldiers that you will never be able to find Corpy. It is impossible to defeat him. Because he is so brave. No one has ever been able to do this before. In order to catch him, 300 soldiers have already lost their lives. So what are you guys? Now the next moment, Corpy attacks one of them and kills him. And he himself came inside the truck. Seeing him, I and my friend decided to support him. Especially I supported him a lot. Corpy, with the help of me and my friend, spread the net and kept killing the soldiers. I also sat in a truck and fired another gun on the 9th of October soldiers and killed them. Similarly, many more soldiers. After that, Corpy finally climbed into the tank, in which the commander and his soldiers were with him. Seeing this, the commander sends his companion outside to fight him. But Corpy catches him very easily and jumped straight down from the tank. And beats him so much and makes him half dead. Then 2 soldiers came here on the bike. Now the commander's companion thought that these 2 would save me. But when he saw Corpy, they got off the bike and started running away from there. Because they already knew about the famous deeds of Corpy. Now Corpy did not kill the commander's companion, and took the bike and left from there. After this, I also freed the other Russian girls. After that, we came there with guns. And surrounding the commander's companion from all sides. Because he had tortured me and my companions many times. The commander, with the help of one of his companions, met a pilot. Because he was going to take them somewhere else. But before going, the commander shoots his own companion and kills him. Which meant that he was so greedy, that he did not even spare his companion. Sitting in the plane, the commander started flying with the pilot. Then suddenly Corpy came at a high speed. As soon as he came, he started firing bullets at his plane. Because of the bullets, the front glass broke. But after all, they still take off looking down at the bike. The commander thought that Corpy had stayed down. But it was not so. In fact, he had reached the plane with his weapon and hung there. Then as soon as he came near the tire. And finally, he comes inside the plane. The commander also heard the sound of him coming inside. As soon as he went back in fear. Suddenly Corpy attacks him. After which their dangerous fight begins here. In this fight, the commander was dominating Corpy. He was picking him up and hitting him. He hits him with the help of a hook and injures him. Which made Corpy so injured that his condition was about to die. Now before the commander attacks him again. Corpy gets a chance and joins the hook with the missile. Whose rope was caught by the commander. And then leaves the missile. Because of that, the commander also came down to the ground with the missile. As soon as he came here, the missile exploded. Because of this the commander also lost his life. And here his game is over. After a while, Corpy sees that the pilot has died due to the injury. Because of this, the plane is slowly going down to the ground. Now, Corpy did not know how to fly a plane. That's why he ties himself tightly and sits in the back seat. After which the plane came to the ground. Because of the collision, it was destroyed. The pieces of the plane were broken. They're all the Russian girls, i.e. I and my friends had reached Norway. Along with that, we also tied the commander's companion, whom we killed and injured. Now we see a man coming out of the pit. Surprised. He was no one else but Corpy, who was also saved from such a big plane destruction accident. who is really commendable. Anyway, now he goes to a very big gold shop to sell the remaining gold. As soon as he comes in, he puts all the gold he has brought on the counter. By seeing the gold, all the people around him are very surprised. In exchange for taking gold, Corpy asks for a bigger amount and a bigger share, so that he does not have any problems in the future. He can easily take the money and bring gold here again. So this was the story of Corpy's bravery. So like him, the rest of the people who want to be successful, always be brave and work with courage. And stand firm in front of your difficulties and tests and complete them. The movie ends here.